Speak up English, the key to success.
Hey Linda, have you ever noticed how many common mistakes people make when speaking English?
Oh, definitely. It's like a minefield sometimes. What kind of mistakes are you thinking about?
Well, for one, I often hear people mixing up your and your. It's such a simple mistake, but it can really change the meaning of a sentence.
Yeah, that one's a classic. And don't get me started on there, and there. It seems like people mix those up all the time too.
Absolutely. It's surprising how many people still struggle with those basic distinctions. And then there's the whole it's versus its confusion.
Oh, I know. It shows possession, like the cat licked its paw, while it's as short for it is or it has. It's such a common mistake, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy to remember.
Exactly. Another one I hear a lot is the misuse of then and than. Then refers to time. Like we'll go to the movies and then get dinner, whereas then is used for comparisons, like I'm taller than you.
Right, it's all about paying attention to those little details. And speaking of details, people often mix up effect and effect. Effect is usually a verb meaning to influence, while effect is usually a noun meaning the result of an action.
That's a tricky one for sure. And let's not forget about the classic who versus whom confusion.
Oh, absolutely. Who is used as a subject, like who is at the door? While whom is used as an object, like to whom did you give the book?
You got it. It's all about practicing and paying attention to these details. With a little effort, we can all improve our English skills.
Definitely, John. It's all part of the learning process. And hey, we're all in this together, right?
Absolutely, Linda. Together, we can conquer those tricky English mistakes and become fluent speakers in no time. You know, Linda, another common mistake I often notice is the misuse of prepositions. People often struggle with when to use at, in, or on in English sentences.
Oh, you're so right, John. It's like, do we say at the bus station, in the bus station, or on the bus station? It can get confusing.
Exactly. It's all about context. We use at for specific locations, in for enclosed spaces, and on for surfaces. For example, we say I'm at the library, I'm in the library reading room, and I'm on the library's second floor.
Ah, I see. It's all about understanding the nuances of each preposition. And speaking of nuances, I've noticed many learners struggle with the correct use of articles, like a, an, and the.
Absolutely. Articles can be tricky, especially for non-native speakers. A and an are indefinite articles used before singular nouns, while the is the definite article used before singular or plural nouns.
Right. We say a book or an apple when we're talking about any book or any apple. But we say the book or the apple when we're referring to a specific one.
Exactly, Linda. You've got it. And let's not forget about word order. English word order can be quite different from other languages.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like subject verb object, right? But in some cases, it can be subject object verb too.
That's correct. English does have a pretty flexible word order, but the basic structure is subject verb object. It's just one of those things you pick up with practice.
Definitely. Practice makes perfect, as they say. And the more we practice, the more confident we become in our English skills.
Absolutely, Linda. It's all about embracing those mistakes as part of the learning process and being open to continuous improvement.
Couldn't agree more, John. Making mistakes is just a natural part of learning any language.
You know, Linda, pronunciation can also be a stumbling block for many learners. English has some tricky sounds that aren't always easy to produce.
Oh, absolutely. Take the TH sound, for example. It can be a real tongue twister for some people.
Definitely. Many non-native speakers struggle with pronouncing words like thought, through, or thoroughly because of that distinct TH sound.
And what about those silent letters, John? They always catch me off guard.
Oh, yes! Silent letters can be quite sneaky. Take the K in knife or the B in doubt, for instance. They're there, but they're not pronounced.
It's like English enjoys keeping us on our toes, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But hey, that's what makes it so interesting and fun to learn, right?
Definitely. I mean, where's the challenge in a language without a few quirks?
Exactly. And let's not forget about idioms and expressions. They add so much color and personality to the language.
Oh, for sure. Like raining cats and dogs or piece of cake. They make conversations so much more interesting.
Absolutely, Linda. Learning English isn't just about mastering grammar and vocabulary. It's about embracing the richness of the language and all its idiosyncrasies.
Couldn't have said it better myself, John. So, what do you say we keep practicing and mastering those English skills?
I'm all in, Linda. Let's keep the conversation flowing and the laughter rolling.
Sounds like a plan, John. Here's to becoming fluent English speakers, one conversation at a time.
So, Linda, let's talk about some common mistakes in English grammar. One of the most common errors I've noticed is confusion between your and your.
Oh, I hear you. It's surprising how often people mix those up. Your shows possession, like is this your book? While your is a contraction for you are.
Exactly. Another one is the misuse of its and its. Its is possessive, like the dog wagged its tail, while its is a contraction for it is or it has.
Oh, I've seen that mistake too. It's a tricky one, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature.
Absolutely. And then there's the confusion between there, and there. There refers to a place, there shows possession, and there is a contraction for they are.
Right, John. It's important to pay attention to these little details to communicate clearly and effectively.
Couldn't agree more, Linda. And let's not forget about verb tenses. Mixing them up can really throw off the meaning of a sentence.
Definitely. Whether it's past, present, or future tense, using the right form of the verb is crucial for clear communication.
Absolutely, Linda. With practice and patience, we can overcome these common mistakes and become more confident English speakers.
That's the spirit, John. Let's keep learning and improving together.
Absolutely, Linda. Together, we've got this.